Welcome, let's journey together into tonight's peaceful story. The Cheerful Adventures of Geranium and Lantana. This story is about the cheerful adventures of Geranium and Lantana as they explore a magical forest and meet new friends. Once upon a time, in a tranquil village nestled between rolling hills and vibrant meadows, lived a kind-hearted human named Geranium and his sprightly companion, a small mouse named Lantana. Every morning, Geranium's garden would bloom with a riot of colors, thanks to his diligent care and the magical touch that seemed to follow him wherever he went. One sunny day, Geranium decided to venture farther than he usually did, feeling a sense of adventure bubbling within. Lantana stood beside him, her tiny paws leaving delicate imprints on the dew-kissed grass. They passed fields of daisies that swayed gently in the warm breeze, their faces turned towards the bright sun. Geranium and Lantana reached the edge of a forest, bathed in golden sunlight. The leaves whispered secrets to the wind, and birds sang melodies that filled the air with joy. As they walked deeper into the forest, they found a sparkling stream that giggled as it danced over smooth pebbles. Geranium knelt down, cupped the refreshing water in his hands, and took a sip. Lantana, always curious, dipped her tiny nose into the stream, making Geranium smile. They continued their journey, and soon stumbled upon a clearing where wildflowers painted the ground with a kaleidoscope of colors. In the heart of this natural paradise stood an ancient oak tree, its branches spreading out like welcoming arms. Tucked among its roots, they discovered a tiny, delicate door. Full of wonder, Geranium gently knocked. To their surprise, the door creaked open, revealing a cozy little room lit by the soft glow of glowing mushrooms. The tiny fairy, with wings that shimmered like the morning dew, fluttered out and greeted them warmly. She introduced herself as Fleur, the guardian of the forest. Fleur invited them in, and they spent the afternoon sharing stories and laughter. Geranium recounted tales of his garden, while Lantana entertained with her playful antics. As the sun began to set, casting a golden heat over the forest, it was time for them to leave. Fleur gifted Geranium a pouch of enchanted seeds to plant in his garden, ensuring it would always bloom brightly. They bid farewell to Fleur and made their way back home. The journey back seemed shorter, with the glow of their cheerful adventure still warming their hearts. That night, as Geranium planted the enchanted seeds, he couldn't help but feel grateful for the joy Lantana's friendship brought into his life. The garden seemed to sparkle even more under the moonlit sky. Every night from then on, Geranium and Lantana looked forward to their next adventure, knowing that together, they could bring cheer to the world around them, one colorful bloom at a time. Here's another story to gently guide you to rest. Angelonia and Hannah's Empathy Adventure. This story is about a human named Angelonia and a friendly ghost named Hannah who form an unbreakable bond through acts of empathy and compassion. In the small village of Rosewood, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Angelonia. Angelonia had always been known for her beautiful smile and gentle nature. However, Angelonia felt lonely sometimes because she didn't have many friends. One chilly autumn evening, as she wandered through the whispering woods near her home, she discovered an old, abandoned cottage. Intrigued, she stepped inside and found it filled with little trinkets and memories of a time long past. To her surprise, she wasn't alone. Friendly ghost named Hannah was already living there. Hannah, with her translucent form and warm, kind eyes, floated towards Angelonia and introduced herself. Despite being startled at first, Angelonia felt an immediate connection to Hannah. They shared stories, laughed, and found joy in each other's company. Hannah explained that she had been living alone in the cottage ever since she passed away many years ago and had been longing for companionship. As days turned into weeks, the bond between Angelonia and Hannah grew stronger. Angelonia would visit Hannah every day after her chores, bringing little gifts and food, even though Hannah couldn't eat them. In return, would use her ghostly powers to help Angelonia with her daily tasks. One day, while exploring the woods together, they found a wounded bird. Angelonia's eyes filled with tears as she gently held the fragile creature. Hannah, although she couldn't physically touch the bird, projected her empathically through comforting words and an ethereal glow that enveloped them both. Together, they nursed the bird back to health, teaching it to fly again. In this experience, Angelonia realized that true friendship transcends physical presence. She learned the importance of empathy and understanding, even with beings from different realms. As seasons changed, the villagers noticed a positive change in Angelonia. She radiated happiness and warmth, sharing the lessons she learned from Hannah with everyone she met. She told them that sometimes we find the best of friends in the most unexpected places. The legend of Angelonia and Hannah spread throughout the village, inspiring others to open their hearts and minds to the unseen magic around them. Though Hannah remained a ghost, her presence brought a lasting light to Angelonia's life, teaching them both the power of love, compassion, and empathy. And so, in the cozy village of Rosewood, Angelonia and Hannah's story of antibiotic continued to be told for generations, reminding everyone that true connections are made for the heart. Let's wander further with our next story. Star and Marigold on the Enchanted Hills. This story is about a young girl named Star and her salamander friend Marigold, who discover the enchantment of magical hills and receive a gift that allows them to spread joy and light throughout their village. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by rolling hills, lived a young girl named Star and her best friend, a shimmering green salamander named Marigold. Every evening, Star and Marigold would walk up the hills to watch the sunset, a spectacular display of colors that painted the sky in hues of orange, pink, and purple. The hills were not just any hills. They were enchanted, filled with wildflowers that glowed softly in the twilight. The magic of the hills was known to bring joy and peace to anyone who visited. Star would sing songs while Marigold danced playfully around her, creating memories that warmed their hearts. One day, as they made their way up the hill, they found a faint, shimmering path that they had never seen before. Driven by curiosity, Star and Marigold decided to follow the path. It led them to a hidden grove where the flowers were unlike any they had ever seen. They glowed with a light that seemed to come from the stars themselves. In the center of the grove stood an ancient tree with branches that sparkled like diamonds. As Star approached the tree, she felt a warm and welcoming presence. The tree spoke to them in a gentle, melodic voice. "I said welcome, Star and Marigold. I am the guardian of the hills. Your pure hearts have brought you here, and I wish to grant you a special gift." So with a wave of its sparkling branches, the tree bestowed upon Star and Marigold the ability to bring the enchantment of the hills wherever they went. From that day forward, they spread joy and light throughout their village, forever cherishing the bond they shared with the enchanted hills. The Star and Marigold continued to visit the hills every evening, but now their adventures were even more magical, knowing that they had the power to share the hill's enchantment with the world. Here lights the new story to soothe your spirit. A Friendship of Hope. This story is about a young human named Tansy and a dwarf named Magnolia, who form a deep friendship, using their unique skills and wisdom to save their village from a devastating flood. symbolizing hope and unity. Once upon a time, in the serene village of Silverbrook, there lived a young human named Tansy. Known for her bright smile and a heart full of kindness, Tansy was loved by everyone. Her days were filled with laughter as she tended to her garden and cared for the animals. However, Tansy often dreamt of adventures beyond the village, yearning to explore the beautiful world she'd read about in books. In the heart of Silverbrook Forest, hidden from the prying eyes, lived a tiny dwarf named Magnolia. Magnolia was tiny, but mighty, with curly auburn hair and sparkling green eyes that held the wisdom of many ages. For home, a quaint and cozy cottage delved into the side of an ancient oak tree was a secret known to few. Magnolia had seen much of the world but chose the solitude of the forest as her sanctuary. One day, as Tansy wandered deeper into the forest in search of rare herbs, she came upon Magnolia's cottage. Fascinated by the charming little house, Tansy knocked on the door. To her surprise, Magnolia welcomed her with open arms. Over tea and freshly baked acorn bread, Magnolia and Tansy shared stories. Tansy spoke of her dreams, and Magnolia spoke of the wisdom she had gathered over centuries. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of pink and orange, a strong bond of friendship was forged. Days turned into weeks, and Tansy continued to visit Magnolia. They explored the forest together, with Magnolia teaching Tansy about the magic hidden in every leaf and stone. Magnolia admired Tansy's hope and curiosity, while Tansy was inspired by Magnolia's knowledge and resilience. One stormy night, a terrible flood threatened to destroy Silverbrook. The river, swollen from the relentless rain, began to spill over its banks. Panic spread through the village, but Tansy remembered the wisdom Magnolia had shared. She rushed into the forest to find her friend. Together, they devised a plan. Magnolia, using her deep connection to the forest, called upon the creatures of the woodland. Birds, deer, and even the trees themselves came to their aid. With Tansy's quick thinking and Magnolia's ancient magic, they managed to create barriers to redirects the water, saving the village. When the dawn finally broke, Silverbrook stood safe and sound. The villagers celebrated Tansy and Magnolia's heroism, presenting them with garlands of wildflowers as tokens of their gratitude. From that day on, the bond between Silverbrook Village and the forest grew stronger. Tansy and Magnolia's friendship became a symbol of hope and unity. Years later, when Tansy was old and gray, she would tell her grandchildren the stories of her adventures with Magnolia. And every evening, as the fire crackled and the stars twinkled, the village of Silverbrook would remember the night hope and magic